Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Noah. Noah is from Iowa in the USA. So let's see what Noah has to say. Enjoy the interview. Yes, I can see you
Here
now.
I am.
Hello, Noah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having me. It's very much an honor.
So tell me, how's your day been so far?
Pretty good. Just kind of chill. I've been kind of, excited and nervous and looking forward to this all at the same time today. So
And tell me where you're from, Noah.
I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
Right. What's the name of the city again?
Well, technically, I live in a suburb called Ankeny.
Ankeny, okay.
Yep. And it's
The
a suburb
state
of the capital of Des Moines, of Iowa, which is Des Moines. So
I see. And that's the place where you're born and raised?
I was born and raised in Iowa, but up north in the country. So I moved here. Time is so crazy; it's hard to even remember. But like probably around 15 years ago. So this feels like home, but it's not where I grew up.
I see. And all your family live in the same city as you?
Not really. I don't have a really big family, to be honest. My brother and my mother do live in the area, and my dad still lives in the area where I grew up.
I see. And what do you do for a living, Noah?
I work at the local community college, and I'm the webmaster. So I'm completely in charge of keeping, updating, and maintaining the college's website.
Amazing. So tell me a little bit about your job.
Yeah, well, so I love my job. I'm actually really, really happy. I've bounced back and forth between a couple jobs. I had always had some schooling, but I never finished my degree. And I decided to a couple years ago. I finally decided that I needed to just really really focus on that and do something that I knew I would like and that would have a future, and be needed. And I'm kind of a creative person, and I've always liked computers. I call myself a Zennial, so I was kind of born in between Generation X and the Millennials. So I grew up, with phones attached to the wall and no internet. And then, but as all that came, and as cell phones came and all that stuff, I was just always able to adapt to it. And so that's kind of why I've always really liked computers and things like that. So I decided to major in web development. And I actually went to the community college that I work at now and got my degree. And while I was studying there, I was also working there as like a work study, which is where they pay students, just to kind of help out. And I really ended up enjoying it, and I got my foot in the door. And the next thing you know, I've graduated and never left, and I'm now in charge of the whole website. So.
Oh my God, amazing. It's nice
Yeah.
to do something that you enjoy, isn't it? I think it's a nice place to be. It's funny because I was talking to a friend the other day about growing up in the 80s with no technology, no internet. It was amazing because I remember, like, if you want to meet someone, you really, you really organize yourself to do it. There was no way you could cancel, like calling, canceling, or just sending a message. Everything was like arranged in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yep.
I
If
remember
you got a
that.
flat tire, there was not much you could do. You couldn't just pick up your phone and call somebody and be like, hey, I'm gonna be late. I got a flat tire. That was it.
Yeah, I think we were very lucky to grow up in that period of time. I think with the world we live right now, of course, technology brought a lot of good things as well. You know what I mean? It's a lot of comfort. The world's all well connected now. The information is very fast. But looking back, we could live before, like, not the technology, and it was amazing as well at the time.
Yep. And I think people our age serve as a nice bridge between the older generation and the newer generation, because we totally understand how both people kind of work. So
Absolutely. Noah, before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Interesting about myself. Well, there's probably a couple things that other people would find interesting. I find myself kind of boring, but I think one thing that might be interesting is that I'm really into comic books, and I enjoy. I've been to a couple Comic Cons and you know, dressed up in costume, and I actually collect comic books. I collect the first appearances of some of my favorite characters.
Right.
And kind of timely right now, there's a new She-Hulk series getting ready to start on Disney Plus that I'm pretty excited for. And I have She-Hulk #1, which was actually created by Stan Lee. And I was able to meet him at a Comic-Con and get him to autograph my copy of She-Hulk #1 before he passed away recently. So.
Oh wow, She-Hulk is the one of characters of the 80s or not?
Right. Yep. I think she actually was created in the 80s as a spin-off of the Incredible Hulk. Obviously with Lou Ferrigno back in the day, and now of course they have the new CGI Hulk. But I have a lot of old comics. I have the first appearance of Batgirl, the first appearance of Poison Ivy. I kind of like the female characters. I've always kind of felt connected and inspired by them. So.
I see. And how big is your collection?
Oh boy, I mean, I have boxes and boxes and boxes, but they're more like recent ones that, you know, aren't worth any money. But I do have a good maybe 40 or 50 that have, you know, some value to them, even if they're just to me. But then, you know, I have a good 10 or dozen that, you know, I probably shouldn't share, to be honest with you, because they're kind of popular nowadays, and they're pretty old, and I figure the longer I hold on to them, the more value they'll be worth, and maybe I can retire early one day. I don't know.
Noah, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Absolutely.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Run a fun question. I like your way. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just gonna play a song now, just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Okay, let's do it.
Sounds good.
Okay, Noah, before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, I always can change. Okay.
Sounds good. I'm an open book, so I think we'll be good.
Amazing. By the way, I'm saying your name right, Noah?
Correct.
Perfect. Okay. First question for you is, how would your best friends describe yourself?
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm kind of one of those people where I have a lot of acquaintances, but few people I would call friends. I'm just kind of a little bit introverted and you know, really hold friendships close. But I suppose I do have a couple best friends. My best friend kind of moved away, lives in North Carolina now, but I think he would describe me as extroverted, even though I feel like I'm introverted. And I think he would also describe me as having a heart of gold, because I think that's kind of sometimes I consider my weakness, but I think other people might think of it as a strength. I'm just very empathetic towards people and animals, and I'd give anybody the shirt off my back just to help them out.
And that your best friend who lives in North Carolina, you grew up together?
Nope. So I grew up in North Iowa, in the country, kind of on an acreage, like gravel road, surrounded by cornfields, stuff like that. And about 15 years ago, I moved to Des Moines, which is the capital of Iowa. And it was, to me, it was like moving to the big city, even though Iowa's, you know, Des Moines is not even that big compared to, you know, Chicago and San Francisco and New York and things like that. But I did meet him after I moved here. He's a fellow comic book nerd, and we kind of bonded over comic books, and we traveled to different Comic Cons together, and just kind of became best friends after that.
I see. And saying that, what's the best part of living in Des Moines, the capital of Iowa? Sorry, I'm saying right.
You're good.
Iowa, yes.
Yes. It's only 4 letters long, but 3 of them are vowels. It's a very unusual
yeah.
very unusual state. But no, I suppose the best part I think is that it's very rural. And it's one of those places where whether you know the person or not, you wave to the person you're driving to down the street, just kind of give them a, like, hey, as you're driving. So we call it Iowa nice here.
Nice.
And so I think in addition to just that mentality of being nice to everybody and things like that, Des Moines in particular is a very fast growing city. We have, even just since I've moved here, it's grown so much, and we have great restaurants, a very diverse community. We have lots of festivals and events, and so it's just really, really nice. Whatever you want to do and are in the mood for, you can probably find it here. And it's still very intimate at the same time.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Guess you like dancing.
I do. I've spent a couple times on the dance floor in my life.
Next question is, what made you laugh this week or this month? Something very funny.
Ooh, that's a good question. I clearly laugh all the time. I feel like right now is probably the best example. I just enjoy talking to people and getting to know people, and I'm very friendly and stuff. So this, without a doubt, I think is probably the most recent thing that has made me smile and laugh, because I just enjoy getting to do things like that. But otherwise, if we don't count this, since it just is happening right now, we're gearing up for the Iowa State Fair, which is a big event in Iowa. It's rural state, and of course the state fairs are big. And at work, I come out of the marketing department, and so I work at a community college here in Des Moines, and so we have a very large presence at the Iowa State Fair to meet people and try to recruit people to enroll, and we're in charge of that. And it's always just a fun time, kind of doing something out of the norm with my coworkers and stuff, and we always laugh and have a good time, even though we know we're in for quite a busy 2 weeks.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Noah, before the next question, tell me what do you like the most about your job? What's the best part of it? And also, there's always a challenging part. What that would be?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am the website administrator of the local community college, Des Moines Area Community College. We call it DMAC for short. But what I like the most is that I get to work very independently. I'm out of the marketing department, and I have a boss, but our whole department is very open and very trusting, and I get to do my work. I get to come in. If something comes up that I need the afternoon off last minute, it's not a problem at all. And then it helps a lot that I enjoy what I do. I like coding. I like making websites. I'm a creative person, and so I do get a lot of joy off of typing something out on the computer and then seeing it appear on the screen for thousands and thousands of other people to see and learn from as well. And I just think that's pretty cool. And as far as challenges go, at the community college I work at, we do have 6 campuses in addition to the main campus that I work at, and there are a lot of people involved, and I suppose the most challenging thing is to provide the level of service so I can give everybody what they want in a timely manner, while still kind of maintaining what marketing has as a vision for the overall website, and kind of trying to bring that together and make everybody happy.
All right, good one. Next question is, I think this one is going to be very easy because I already saw in your body. Would you ever get a tattoo, and what that would be?
Yes. So I have several tattoos. I'm a big tattoo fan. I have a big rose on my neck. I can't remember what side it's on. Yeah, there we go. It's the switch stuff. and I've got several on my arms and you know, my chest and everything. So I definitely love ink. I think it's a great form of self-expression. And I do have an appointment on the 26th of this month of August to get another tattoo. I'm going to get something on my hand. So I'm going to get a very cool eye on the palm of my hand. And then I'm going to get some designs and things done up on my fingers too. So.
Wow. Which one is the oldest one and which one is the newest one in your body?
Great question. So the oldest one, I have a very, very tiny little Chinese symbol on the back of my neck. It's very thin and hardly even readable, which is good because it probably doesn't say what I think it says. I see so many, you know, jokes about people getting tattoos in different languages and they don't at all mean what you think they mean. But it was literally like I turned 18, I had $25 in my pocket, and I was like, you know, what can this get me? So that's my oldest. I would like to get it covered up with something, you know, something different. I haven't quite decided yet. So that's on the road. And then I think the most recent one I got a tattoo of Wonder Woman on my forearm. It's kind of hard to turn my wrist that way. But it's by H.G. Peters, which was the original artist that drew Wonder Woman back in the 30s and 40s. And I got that for my birthday a couple years ago. So it's been a couple years since I have had one, which is why I'm pretty excited to get a new one later this month.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, what makes you most uncomfortable about dating?
Ooh, oh boy. Dating question. All right, here we go. So I suppose when it comes down to it, you know, like I said, I'm an open book. I struggle with anxiety. I know a lot of people struggle with anxiety. I go to a doctor and you know, get medication to help me out with that. But I get very, very nervous. I can be very, very flirty behind a computer screen or behind a phone screen. And I think the biggest challenge is that I'm always scared that when a person meets me in real life, that I'm going to be much more shy and more reserved than how I seem when we may have talked for the first time online or on the phone with texts or whatever.
I see. Can you share like one of the most memorable dates that you had, or something that's happened, a funny one, or something that sticks to your head?
Yeah. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is somebody I had just recently started dating. We I guess we moved a little fast, but the timing just happened so in the right way that I had a vacation to Hawaii planned with a friend, and he was able to go along with us. And so we went on several dates in Hawaii and had, you know, a kind of romantic time at the beach on the ocean, and we were both really into the stars and astronomy, you know, and you could see everything over the ocean. So that definitely stands out as kind of one of the most memorable dating experiences I've had.
Oh my God, that's very lucky. Imagine going on a date in Hawaii just like that. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Especially being, you know, pretty new to dating each other. It was a little magical, I guess. But yeah.
Oh, for sure. Next one, let's do it. Okay, Noah, next question is, if you met someone sad in the street, yeah, what would be your approach to this person, or your advice? How would be your approach to this sad person in the street, if you could share?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. I'm not really into, you know, metaphysical stuff, or you know, I want to believe in ghosts and things like that, but I'm kind of scientific, so I'm not completely, you know, convinced they're real or not, but I hope so. But I do, you know, kind of think of myself as an empath, and so I just I can see somebody and I instantly kind of feel what they feel, and there's just, you know, a part of me that relates to people no matter what they're going through. And I think if I saw somebody that was sad and on the street and I just felt that, the first thing I would do would be to just sit down next to them and say, hey, I'm your new friend, tell me what's going on, and just be there to listen, because a lot of times that's just what people need is somebody to listen to them.
That's so true. I think those people sometimes they they feel like they have no voice, they feel like they are alone in the world. And sometimes just have some, as you said, just have someone sitting by their side, or just say, oh, hi, I'm here if you'd like to talk, or to say something. I think that's for sure, it can bring a lot of comfort for them, just to be by their side, or even just to give some company, you know what I mean, for a minute. I
Absolutely.
think that matters a lot. Some people, and we don't realize that sometimes, because we are so busy with our own lives, that sometimes if you see someone like literally, you know what I mean, on the corner, or you can see that something's not right, if you just go there, you know what, I'm just here if you want to talk, or it's okay if I can just sit by your side, just be in silence, you know what I mean, it makes a difference.
I'd be like, do you need a hug?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if all of us, we have this approach or mindset, I think things will change a little bit in the world, for sure.
Yes.
I believe. Shall we do another one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, next question is, how do you make friends?
I know that's a good question. I have to stop. I have to obviously pause a little bit. So, like I mentioned, I can sometimes be a little bit introverted, and so it's easier for me when people strike up a conversation first. When somebody talks to me, I can just, I can just go a million miles an hour and relate and find something in common. I think the challenging thing for me is to make that first step and to maybe introduce myself to somebody first. But if somebody kind of makes the first move and has any type of says hi and wants to be friends, you'll feel like you've known me your whole life. You know what I mean? We'll just start talking and hit it off. So
I totally understand your point. Sometimes we just need someone to give the very first step. As soon as they give the first step, the open will be wide open afterwards.
The floodgates open, absolutely, yes.
Some of them might regret that they gave this step because they couldn't stop talking.
Right, when they're looking at the watch and be like, I gotta go see my friend, then maybe you've given a little too much. But
And you always had this way of being a bit more shy, introvert?
Yep, definitely. I grew up in a very rural area. Very small town, went to a small school. There weren't very many gay people up there, and I'm gay. It took me a long time to kind of accept that, because I also grew up very religiously, and so that was kind of hard to just accept and come to terms with. But I was definitely picked on a lot. I was definitely bullied a lot, and I think that's what now in hindsight, 20, 30 years later, has made me such a kind and altruistic person is that I know, what it feels like to not be liked and to be excluded. And it's not good. It doesn't feel good at all. And so, I'm very conscious of that. And I just think everybody's beautiful and you can never have too many friends. And so I think that's though what kind of brought me to be a little bit on the shy side and a little bit on the introverted side. I always felt if I didn't talk and didn't sound gay, and just kind of kept to myself, that I would just fly underneath the radar and things would be easier for me.
I'm very glad you're saying that, Noah, because so many people, including myself as well, we've been through those experiences in life, you know what I mean? And as you said, nowadays, as you said, you take this as a positive thing, because now you can help people, you can understand more people, and you can be more kind. But for sure, some of their people, they didn't find this way, and put them in a place where they are even more closed now. They don't connect with people, they don't talk to people because they are scared, afraid, based on their childhood,
Yes,
and because I believe that children, including us, we at the time we could be very rush, we could be very bullying. We'd like bullying other kids, you know what I mean? And sometimes it was insecurities as well, because in a way maybe they had something not well sorted in their minds, and they found a way to attacking, you know what I mean, other children. And being, of course, even though being gay, even more difficult, because you need to deal with that. Plus, you need to deal with something that you don't understand, something that you don't have your family support because you never talk about it. You don't. So it's even more difficult for us at the time to deal
Very
with
lonely, yes.
all of that.
Yes.
And sometimes we could find ourselves in a very lonely world where we thought that we were only person like that. We thought we were wrong. We thought it was a mistake or something was going on that wasn't right. And sometimes we couldn't even talk to anyone because we didn't know. We didn't have information at the time.
Yes, absolutely. I had nobody to talk to. And
Absolutely.
It was definitely a struggle.
And I remember as well, I was quite lucky because my parents, they always let me free, you know what I mean? And I remember when I was being bullied at school, the way I found it to avoid that, it was painful, of course, but I was kind of focused in other friends, like girls. I was around for girls and I was kind of, you know what I mean? It was difficult for me because I felt ashamed. I felt a little bit embarrassed, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But, and I remember as well going to the church and I was praying for not feeling different because I said, my goodness, why I'm feeling this way? Why it's something strange that I'm not like normal like the other boys, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And when I look back, I go like, my goodness, when you don't have information, it's so difficult for you to deal with that because you are being yourself, you choose yourself, and you think it's wrong because you don't know what's happening there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you said that because I mean, I would literally pray every night to not be gay. I would literally pray to not have those feelings anymore, even though, excuse me, even though I was too young to even act on them or even fully understand, you know, what being gay meant.
Yeah.
I just knew that there was something, well, I didn't know, at the time I thought there was something wrong with me, and now I know that there absolutely was not at all, but, you know, you didn't know at the time, and, you know, and you know, that was very much a time before all the major companies and corporations celebrated Pride, and you saw gay people and diversity on television and things like that. And I know that kids nowadays have different problems and still experience, you know, bullying in a different way. But I definitely can tell you that if when I was growing up, I was able to walk into Target and see a rainbow display of you know, like, it's okay to be gay type of things, it really would have made it. I think it really would have made a difference for me. So.
Absolutely. And saying that, I remember that I loved being the church, actually. For me, it was my parents, they never forced me going to the church. My parents, they were religious, but not like those very religious that, you know what I mean? They were just very relaxed, yeah? They always let me, my sister, be the way we were. And actually, my mom thought I would be a priest because I was so into the church. I was going to the church every Sunday, but I loved it. I never felt forced to go to the church. I just loved it. And I remember sometimes I was there praying and try to understand and try to change. I was like, my God, I want to be different. I want to be normal like the other boys because something is not right here.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I think everything counts at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't erase that because it makes the person who I am today. And I'm glad in a way that happened because it made us strong somehow. And as you said again, more kind, more understanding. And I think, you know, at the end of the day, everything counts. I think we meant to go through that, but it wasn't easy, let's say. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, when I look at myself today, I'm so happy with where I'm at and who I am. And I recognize that I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for what I went through when I was younger. So
absolutely, somehow it makes us strong and understand more because I think nowadays we are more understanding because of that. Because maybe if we had too much information, or maybe if we have more our parents explain us, maybe nowadays we wouldn't understand a lot other people. You know what I mean? We thought maybe they should have had the same support as we did. So again, I think it made us more understanding now and more compassionate and more kind as well for a lot of things, not just being gay, but a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Next question. Let's do it.
All right.
Right. So before the next question, as we were talking about being gay, for you growing up, so did you have support of your family or not? And there was a day when you came out, or you just naturally, you know what I mean, they realized that you were gay? If you can share.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think kind of like I alluded to, I always knew there was something different about me. I didn't, you know, especially during the 80s and 90s when you know, there wasn't the internet and Will and Grace weren't on TV and stuff like that, you know, I didn't understand what that meant. And we were very religious. I was forced to go to church, but like you, I also enjoyed it. I was very active in youth group, and I wasn't picked on there, and stuff like that. So I definitely didn't mind it for the most part, but it was something that I never talked about and never admitted to anybody, including myself, because I was convinced that I was going to change, and I was not, going to be that way. And it really, honestly, wasn't until I was in my very early 20s. And by that time, my parents had separated, and I had been, just away from the sheltered life that I had lived for long enough that I finally started to come to terms with myself, and was exposed to just a lot more culture, and I had met other gay people, and it really helped to find out that I wasn't alone, and it was okay to be me. So I'm more just kind of, and I was still kind of embarrassed by it though, because when you grow up for 20 some years being ashamed of just the fact you were born, it's hard to just one day, tell everybody, like, a big announcement, wave a banner around. So it was a gradual thing for me, and it was obviously much easier to come out to friends, and to make new gay friends that just knew me as who I was, and later it just kind of came organically with family members, a little bit one at a time.
I see. And you saying that now, it just made me think about something now. And I think before we come out to our family members or friends, we need to come out to ourselves first, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Even
100%.
Even not knowing this knowledge, we need to accept ourselves. We need to go like, okay, I'm gay. You know what I mean? I can see that I'm different, or you know what I mean? I'm not. I need to leave. So let me come out to myself first,
yes,
before I spread out the news. That's mostly people know. I think people, when they know us, like including our parents, they know us so well that sometimes they know us even better than ourselves. But of course, sometimes they don't want to believe, they don't want to know because of society, because it's always happened to the neighbors, to other part of the family, but never happened to our household, isn't it?
Yes.
It's always like that, isn't it?
Right.
The society voice is so strong that it's always gonna happen with the next door neighbor, to the other, a neighbor family, but never to us. It's always
never
like
to
that.
Us. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Next question is, what does family mean to you?
Oh, that's another good question, a little loaded question. Like I mentioned, I just have a very small family. So it's my mom, and she's remarried, and my dad, and he's also remarried, and then my brother. So it's just the two of us. My name's Noah, and my brother's name is Jonah. So if that alludes to how religious we were growing up, that pretty much just sums it up in a nutshell. So excuse me again. But my dad still lives in North Iowa. His wife, my stepmom, is an amazing lady. I love her to death. But just being so far away, we don't see each other very much. We of course send cards and things like that during holidays, but we're just not one of those families that talk on the phone every week and things like that. And but my brother and I are close. He's my only brother, and brothers kind of also best friends. You're the first best friend you have, and things like that. And also we don't talk every day. We were just never that kind of a family. I know some families just have to talk every week, and we're like I was saying, some families like to talk every day or get together once a week, and my family was just never like that. It's nothing bad, it's just not how we were. But at the same time, if I needed him or he needed me, or my mom or my dad needed me or I needed them, we would be there for each other instantly. So
absolutely. Saying that, what's the biggest similarity between you and your brother? What's the biggest difference?
So I think our biggest similarity is that we look alike. People can very much tell that we're brothers. We have the exact same eyes, exact same nose, and exact same lips, and so we definitely look a lot alike, which is kind of funny. We there's 4 years age difference between us, but I think the biggest difference between us is our interests. You know, he's just your typical kind of straight Midwestern guy, you know, so he likes mechanical things, and he likes football, and he likes, you know, rock and roll, and you know, I like fashion and dancing and dance music and Madonna, you know, and so our interests are definitely polar opposites, but that's kind of nice. We, you know, learn from each other, and if I ever have a question on my car, I can call him, and you know.
After you said about you like Madonna, you like fashion, I'm just wondering which one both of you are gay. Joking.
Yeah, no kidding. Take a guess.
Next one, let's do it. All right, next question for you is, if you could ask for a miracle, what that would be?
Oh boy, the world needs a lot of miracles right now. So it's very, very tough to narrow it down to one. But I think right now where the world's at, you know, it's kind of a generic answer, but I really think a miracle of world peace is in order. I would love to stop world hunger, stop the oppression of gays and women in third world countries. You know, there's just a lot of people way less fortunate than ourselves, and if there's just anything I could miraculously do to make the world a better place for them, that would be it.
Absolutely. I think there are some they're economically different, you know, people, they're so rich, and there are people there that are so poor that they don't have access to much you know, ways of living, and yeah, I think that would be a good miracle, just to get people more, you know what I mean, at least more settled, like the same level, more or less, you know what I mean?
Yep, and it's hard for people to understand, but it's illegal to be gay in some places. I mean, you can legally be killed for that, and you know, we just need to fix things like that, and you know,
it even sounds strange to hear that you can, it's illegal being gay.
Yes.
Like if you are God, that okay, you make things illegal, like okay, this is illegal. It doesn't, it's even difficult to digest the information, isn't it?
It's hard to comprehend. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's difficult. Anyway, let's hope for better days for sure.
Absolutely. Always. Yes.
Always. 3 questions left for you, Noah. Let's do it. Right, before the next one, let's say I've never been to your state before. Yes. Let's say I've never been there before. What's, in your opinion, what's the state stands out compared with the other states in the US? What's the unique thing that I only can find, that something that's special about the states, if you can share?
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of the Midwestern states, you know, we kind of are known as the flyover states. Because if you go from New York to California, you fly over the Midwest, and so they call us flyover states.
Interesting. Interesting. You just made my day now. I never heard this expression before.
Oh, haven't you? Yeah. Yep. And so most of the Midwest is known as a flyover state, and most of us are very agricultural based, and we're cornfield after cornfield after cornfield as far as the I can see. And so I think a lot of people that have not grown up in Iowa or in the Midwest, and are only used to, you know, the South or a different country, or even, you know, like New York or California, that it would be very eye-opening to go to a farm, to see cows, to see pigs, to see little baby pigs, to see chickens, to collect eggs, to walk through a cornfield. You know, I mean, that's really just being in it, and you know, it's nice. It's very enlightening to see where a lot of the things you buy in the grocery store kind of come from and start out at, and you know, the eggs you buy in a carton, you know, they come from this chicken that, you know, lays it. And
very interesting. You just made my day now. I learned something new. I love it.
Exactly.
Next question is, what is something that you can't live without?
So that one's probably a little bit easier for me to answer. I'm a dog lover. I love dogs. I love all animals, but dogs especially are a passion of mine. And if I were to drill that down even more, I love pugs. The dog, with the smashing face and the curly tail. So I used to have two. Now I just have one. And his name is Toby. He's sleeping at my feet right now. Actually, he kind of snores pretty loud, so I was hoping he wouldn't disrupt the interview with his snoring. But he's a rescue. There's a lot of what we call puppy mills in the Midwest, and that's just where people breed dogs under very poor conditions, and I'm very much against puppy mills, and I think that if anybody has the opportunity to get a dog, you should adopt first, and no matter what breed you want, there's a rescue out there for them, and so I connected with the Midwestern Pug Rescue about 6 years ago and adopted Toby, and he was about 5 then, so he's about 11 or 12 now, so he's kind of a little bit of an old man, but he's my best friend in the whole world, and I look forward to waking up with him next to me in the bed every morning and having him go to sleep with me every night. And so I can't imagine my life without a pug.
Oh, sweet. It brings so much joy to our lives, don't they?
Absolutely. They just love you.
Absolutely. Saying that, actually, I just remember now, I was checking your profile a little bit before the interview, and I saw that your birthday is 19th of November.
Yes.
My birthday is 17th of November. 2 days apart.
Nice. Fellow Scorpios then.
Scorpio, yes.
Yeah, we could get into some trouble together.
We can. I think Scorpio, we can be very loyal, we can be very, very intense. Scorpio, they're very intense. Like, you know what I mean? We are full of energy. For us,
yep.
Like the way we express everything is intense. Intensity.
Yes.
Very intense.
And it's so interesting that you say that because when I think of Scorpios, when I think of myself, I think loyalty is one of my strongest traits, and I am so intense about everything I like that I got the word intense tattooed on my arm. So I love that you just said that, because that pretty much confirms it. Yeah.
But by the negative side of Scorpio, we can be very how do you say, I forgot the word now, when you're very it's controlling as well, but we can be very jealous. Oh my God, jealousy.
Yep.
Jealousy, something about Scorpio, that's something that I could change. I mean, the older you get to know yourself better and you work on it. Yes. But I remember like being jealous of my friends. I remember as a child, my mom said to me that when I was like a baby, like a growing up baby, if she took like another baby like in her arms, as soon as I saw it, I was like literally running after. I said, no, she's my mom. Can you imagine? So she was like, my God, your personality was already there. You know what I mean? So like my friends, like friendship, relationship, oh my God. I'm always like jealous if they're going out with somebody else, another friends. You know what I mean? It's always like something like, it's the negative part of Scorpio.
That's one of the things I have to control myself over when I do date people, because the urge, the natural instinct to always check up on them or, like stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, you can't, that's not okay to do. And I know that, but like, the urge is there. The urge is there.
2 questions left.
All right. Sounds good.
Next question is, what hurt your feelings?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. So kind of how we were talking, being Scorpios and being very intense. I do everything intensely. I love people intensely. I like people intensely. I give 110% in any relationship, and so it definitely hurts my feelings when that's not reciprocated. And it might just be the person's personality. They actually might be a jerk, but they actually might not be. But it's very easy for me to get my feelings hurt when I feel that I'm not being understood that my feelings aren't being understood, or that my feelings aren't being reciprocated to me in the same way that I'm giving them.
Absolutely. I think it's something as well that I know very well. In a relationship, I remember one of my ex-boyfriends, and you know what I mean? I was cuddling all the time. I was touching, getting attention. He was like, "My God, calm down a little bit. My goodness, I'm not gonna run away." But I said, "No, it's just the way. We are very touchy. We are very physical. Yes. We're very physical. We want attention.
Very
we want
cuddly.
To,
yes. Yep.
Yes, express ourselves. We just want to be. You know what I mean? Recognized. I don't know. We just want to be there." And he was like, "Ooh, I need some space. Let's just calm down a little bit."
You're too much. You're too much. Yeah.
You're too much. Ready for the last one?
I am. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Last question. Okay, Noah, before the last question, you know those last 2 years that the world went upside down regarding the COVID crisis, yeah? Mm-hmm. Personally for you, what's the biggest positive impact that brought to your personal life? And also, what's the most negative one, if you can share?
Yeah, that's actually pretty easy for me to answer. When COVID hit, excuse me, I was lucky enough to be able to still work. I wasn't in a necessarily public facing thing where everything just had to shut down. And when you do web development, you can pretty much work anywhere that you have internet access to. So I worked from home for 2 years while COVID was going on. And as a self-proclaimed introvert, that was 2 of the best years of my life. I got to just be in my comfort zone. My dogs were next to me. And I mentioned I had two pugs. The one I had before Toby, her name was Ninja. And she was 16, so she was very old when COVID hit. And I was able to, we got to go home to work for work in like February ish, and unfortunately in May she passed away. And the one thing I am so grateful for was that I got to spend the last 4 months of her life just literally with her the whole time. And I know COVID had a very negative impact on a lot of the world, and a lot of people lost a lot of loved ones, but boy, that really meant a lot to me to be able to have that time with her. And then as far as the negative thing, like I said, being a little bit of an introvert, it's a little hard for me to get out there and sometimes go out myself the way it is. But then when you're forced to quarantine for 2 years, I really cut myself off from friends and kind of acquaintances and mostly friends in general. And I kind of regret it wasn't on purpose necessarily, but it just happened. And now that that's behind us for the most part. I mean, there's still obviously some ongoing struggles, with COVID, but we're now allowed to get out there and socialize with people again and stuff like that. And so I'm kind of making up for lost time. A lot of people will maybe see me if I go out to the bar, and they'll be like, "I thought you dropped off the face of the earth." And I'm kind of like, I kind of did a little bit, I have to admit, but I'm back. So
I'm back now. I'm here.
Yes.
Last question for you is, okay. Oh my God. All the questions are about laughing to you. Okay, let's do it. Who makes you laugh the most?
I can't pick a specific person other than to say the people I consider my friends. I can just talk with them, and our natural conversation just makes each other laugh. I've got a couple coworkers that I also consider friends, and so just getting to go to work with them and talk about something crazy that happened to us over the weekend, or their crazy neighbor that did this, or somebody has a funny story about their kids and stuff. I love it. So I just connect with people, with my friends in that way, and hearing their stories and just getting to chat with each other without a doubt just makes me laugh every time. I'm kind of a smiley person anyway, and it's just kind of natural for me to just smile and laugh.
Amazing, very good. Okay, no, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking.
Okay.
Let's start.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Let's start with family.
Struggle.
Money.
Contentment.
One word for love.
Pain.
Sex.
Happiness.
Life.
Fulfillment.
Politics.
Ooh. Anger.
Religion.
Danger.
One word for fear.
Courage.
Friendship.
Love.
Desire.
Longing.
Okay. Regret.
None.
Success.
Contentment.
Wish.
Non-existent.
Happiness.
Joy.
One word for Iowa.
Friendly.
You see, I said right, Iowa.
You did. Very good. Very good.
I was here training my brain like Iowa. And the last one now, USA, one word.
Divisive.
Interesting you saying that, because I had a few guests on the show from for the US, and most of them they say that about the division. It's, in your opinion, it's been for a while like that, or it's just this period of now that's the country is divided, in your opinion?
It's definitely gotten worse very quickly. Without a doubt, I think the past two elections here in the United States, in particularly, have really divided us. It used to be a thing where I could talk about politics for a long time, but I disagree. I don't like the fact that we only have a two-party system here. I don't think everybody fits into two boxes and doesn't represent the majority of people. But there was a time where you could be a Republican or you could be a Democrat and not necessarily dislike each other or argue about things. It was just more you had different views on economics or things like that. And now recently our country has grown with a lot of hatred, and it's really tough to see, because some people can just by saying who you support or whose bumper sticker is on the back of your car, you instantly make a decision whether you like that person or not, and it's just really gotten us to be very divisive, and now more than ever we need to come together.
All right, good one, good point. Let me put a question to you. There is a question in the magic box, but I'm gonna ask this question to you through the magic box. Didn't came along, but as you said about politics, I'm gonna ask you. Let's say now you have the opportunity to give just one advice to your current president now. Let's say that the president of the USA, it's facing you right now. You are doing a FaceTime, both of you now. Yes. And he's expecting just one advice from you. What would you say?
I would say to eliminate all student loan debts. Get that behind everybody. Let people not owe $100,000 just for trying to better themselves and better their education, and let that money go back into the economy. And so, I would say forgive student loan debt. and I suppose a very close second would be to get us some type of universal healthcare system now. I don't think nobody should have to be in pain or be scared to go to the doctor or end up with, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills just for being sick. That's not right. So
amazing. Very good. Hopefully he watched this interview. Never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Never know. Right, let's pretend now, Noah. I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friend, what is the most beautiful thing about Noah, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What your best friend would say?
Yeah, I think he would probably say that the most beautiful thing about me is probably my selflessness. Because like I think I mentioned before, you know, if I saw somebody sad on the street, I would sit down and talk to them. If somebody needed the shirt off my back, I would give it to them.
Very Scorpio, very Scorpio, very Scorpio.
Yes, very Scorpio, exactly. Very, very true. And I think the thing he tell me I need to work on the most is probably my self-confidence. Because even though I kind of know everybody else thinks that I'm a good person and a good role model, I still look in the mirror and see myself as that kid that was ashamed of who they are, and it's still a work in progress when it comes to that. So I think he'd tell me that or he'd tell you that I need to see myself the way other people see me.
Amazing. I think just the fact that you know that, Noah, is already halfway of the journey, you know what I mean, through.
It's absolutely the first step, yes.
Yes, absolutely. You're on the right direction. I think when we know our issues or our weakness or something that we don't know how to deal with, just the fact that we know it's already halfway of the journey.
Halfway of the battle. I agree.
Right, let's play now, Noah, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, Noah from Iowa, let's go. You can ask me a question now.
All right. I like this, and I put a lot of thought into it, and like I said, being the animal lover I am, here it goes. If you had to describe yourself as an animal, which one would it be and why?
Let me spot now, because I'm a very animal lover as well. Okay, let me think now a little bit. You know what? Okay, the first one that came to my mind, it was easier. Actually, my Chinese sign is a dog. I'm a dog on Chinese, and actually, I would like feel myself as a dog, or I could be a dog easily, and I'll tell you why. You know, sometimes when you go to the park and you see those dogs jumping around, running after each other, for me, it's like a therapy. For me, it's like, my goodness, what this energy comes from. This dog, they give you love without getting anything back. You know what I mean? They trust you. You know what I mean? They love you. They care for us, the energy. So I think sometimes I just picture myself like in a dog place, because, you know, sometimes I remember, like, as a child, sometimes I was upset with my dog and I was kind of trying to slap my dog, and they were a bit scared. But even though in a few seconds I was like, come here, they were afraid, but they would come still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're afraid of me, but they would come still. So I think I'll picture myself as a dog because sometimes I feel like I have their energy. Sometimes I'm silly, you know, I find myself in a silly place that I just can run around. When I'm in the park with friends, sometimes they go like, my God, William, you're not 12 years old anymore, my goodness. And I think sometimes I feel, my God, I'm just seeing those dogs, just jumping around and you know, with this energy, you know, I think you learn a lesson. It warms your heart to see those dogs. I remember during the pandemic, when the COVID crisis started, that we could leave the house for exercise once a day. Mm-hmm. But I remember I was running the park once a day, and I could see those dogs owners just like, you know, like fetch them, like just playing with them. And so for happy. Me, it was so happy. And for me, it was a good therapy just to see that, because even though the world was like in a very challenging place, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And even though just see those dogs like jumping around and going crazy, it for me it made a difference for me in my life, because it kind of gave me a hope that even though the world was a bit, you know what I mean, not knowing
Mm-hmm.
the situation at the time, but the dog, they were there still, like bring this happiness.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I picture myself with this personality, because as I said before, the energy they had, just energy that you don't find anywhere. You know what I mean? I love cats, I love all the animals,
Yep.
but dogs, you know what I mean? When you are around them, is a lot of energy that you don't know. Yeah, you don't know how the energy comes from, and they are so loyal to you. They are so loyal. You know what I mean? If wherever you go, they're gonna go after you. They're gonna go with you. They're gonna be by your side as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think I would, if I could come another life as a dog, I would be happy.
Yep, that's a great and noble answer. I love it.
Noah, did you enjoy the experience? Did you like the interview?
Oh, I did. I love it. Like I said, even though I'm a little bit of an introvert, I love meeting new people. I love talking. I hope your viewers can see that and can see how much fun I had. So
For sure. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for being sweet and kind. I remember when you sent me a message saying, "No, Will, I'm a bit nervous." I said, you know what I mean? And I like when people they express themselves, what they are feeling, because they're being real, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day as well, as you said, you're introverts, you're a bit nervous, but you took the challenge. And sometimes it's good to do that, because you never know what's going to come along. Sometimes, you know, imagine people watching this interview now, they're going to connect with you. They're going to, you know what I mean, picture themselves the same situation as you are, or you were before in the past. And I think when you come out of your comfort zone, for some reason, you can find beautiful things. You never know. Absolutely. So thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks for encouraging yourself and to be part of the show. I really appreciate that. But before you go, Noah, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Yeah. So like I have alluded to, my biggest idol is Madonna. I grew up, you know, just at the right time when she hit, and having, you know, been self-conscious about being gay, it was very inspirational to have the world's biggest superstar be so supportive of gays and gay rights and things like that. And, you know, not only that, but her music is just absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm a huge, you know, super fan and live on everything she says. And I think one of the most influential messages I have that I'd like to share with everybody is something that she said in a 2008 interview with Vanity Fair. And she says, if your joy is derived from what society thinks of you, you're always going to be disappointed. And I just think those are words to live by. Be you. Be true to you. Don't worry about what society thinks. Be true to yourself.
I love that. As you mentioned about Madonna, one word for Madonna. Word association game.
She cannot be described in one word, but icon, goddess, so many things come to mind.
3 tops your favorite songs of Madonna. 3 top ones.
Oh, okay. This is very easy, actually. Like a Prayer, I think, is one of the best songs ever written. Vogue is definitely second. I mean, I remember being a kid standing in front of the TV trying to learn all the moves. You know, I had it down. And then just a personal favorite of mine is Material Girl. I can hear that come on the radio, you know, and I'll just crank that all the way up and jammed every single word.
Amazing. I love it. I think her songs just, you know what I mean, is gonna live forever, for sure.
Absolutely,
her song, forever.
Absolutely.
Noah, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much. Regards to your family, to your friends, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure, okay?
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.